Steve, we are.
Welcome to the Gore Club Podcast, everybody. I'm Steve Vessel.
I'm Death Metal Dave.
I'm Ace.
And this evening we have two guests. Can you please introduce yourselves?
I'm Trevor Thompson. I'm a makeup artist for film and television.
I'm Sydni Hampton. I'm the host of the Really Queer podcast and movie night. And I'm a drag queen. And I like to think that I'm very, academic, but I'm not, so.
I bet you are. You're just being nice.
I'm not either.
Yeah.
So y'all did an episode without me that should be out soon.
Actually, Corey's editing right now. We had somebody zoom in from Chicago, a film critic from Chicago, and since the Zoom, we're still working with editing on that, and it takes forever. But I'm sorry.
That's all right.
That's why you're the only person who gets paid.
You talked about some movies that I recently watched. You talked about X.
Yeah, we're doing a series right now. We're doing we did women's of horror, the gays of horror. We're doing women of horror, gays of horror, or the queers of horror, and then I want to do POC, an episode of POC of horror. So you missed the women of horror.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, we talked about X, Barbarian. We talked about Ace. What else?
Quick summary of X.
X. Yeah.
Horny old people kill young people.
Oh fuck! I love that movie.
Yeah.
The Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yes.
And I watched Barbarian.
Yeah.
About going to it's the worst commercial for renting a house ever.
Oh yeah, Airbnb.
I saw a review for it that said you can't spell Airbnb without Barbarian.
Yeah,
that's so fucking.
You can't spell Barbarian without Airbnb.
Only thing I took away from that movie is when just. Boop.
There's so many good parts about that movie. It took me a while to appreciate the writing because I've gotten so hard on writing when it comes to just stupid fucking characters. I love a dumb slasher movie. I love Ghoulies 4. We always talk about this all the time. But like, goddamn, her being so fucking nice and wanting to save him. I'm like, get the fuck out! Who cares? But then it all makes sense and it's great. I mean, Justin Long, we spoil everything. So fuck that guy. I'm so glad. That was a great ending for him to go that way. Like the whole story is great. Has everybody seen a Barbarian?
Yeah.
What'd you think?
Oh.
You have?
You have to see it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
My job is horror movies don't really faze me anymore, but the whole time I was just like
Okay. I'm going to put that on the list.
yeah.
Fuck yeah.
I watched Nope.
Yeah.
Sky Sharks.
Sky Sharks.
Sky Sharks.
Summing up everything in like 2 sentences.
Just summing it up. We didn't have a lot of time. And then I watched Smile last night.
Yeah, I need to see that.
What'd you think?
It Follows. No, it's the same movie. I'm sorry.
I didn't enjoy it.
It was okay. The last 10 minutes were pretty cool, but it Follows. Except not as creepy. We're good.
I mean,
the only part that was scary was like, no, that's not fair. There were a few parts that were like scary. I don't do body horror, so some of that stuff is like, ugh. But then like opening the mouth and like crawling inside.
Yeah.
That was a no for me. I was like.
That was a pretty intense moment. Yeah. It was good. I enjoyed that part of the movie.
They had an incredible marketing campaign, though.
They did.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man, yeah.
People standing in the games.
They just didn't spend money on commercials. No. They just sent a bunch of people with creepy smiles and T-shirts to like a Dodgers game.
And it was cheaper and it worked.
Yes, and it worked.
Yeah, I think it's the #1 movie right now of the year. Because we did a trivia thing last week at the Gore Club, and that was one of the questions that my partner picked out. And they were like, hey, what's the #1 horror movie in the world right now? I was like, I don't know. They're like, it's that movie, Smile.
Why?
Yeah.
Marketing.
Okay, that's fair. You know what did not have good marketing? Bodies.
Yeah.
Still haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, I like that movie.
It's on my list. It's just like millennials. What would millennials do in a horror film, right?
It's like, I'm a millennial, but when I was watching it, it's like Gen Z kids.
Gen Z kids.
Oh, okay.
So I'm sitting there watching them like, these spoiled kids. Had a big mansion to hang out in. And it was like, you just get to ride out the storm here. But I liked it a lot. I included on some of the stuff for today, too. But it's got that A24 thing where it's like, it's a horror movie, but it's much deeper than that.
It's elevated horror, you fucking get it. There's so much. Was it you and I talking about at the Gore Club not too long ago? There's just so hard to keep up on everything that's coming out. There's just like, this is the golden age of horror. People are like, it's the 40s. I'm like, no, motherfucker, it's right now.
Yeah.
There is so much. It's so fat. Like, God, I have a list. Like, it's like a stack of books next to my bed. It's a list of movies I need to see.
Yeah, I mean, I feel really bad. Like, I feel like a terrible fan because people will ask me, have you seen this movie? Have you seen that movie that, like, just came out? And, I mean, I haven't seen a year's worth of new releases. So
Yeah.
To just like
Get on it.
lock myself in a room and just watch all kinds of shit because I feel like a terrible fan, but there's so much coming out right now.
Yeah, my list of like 2023 is gonna be like, oh, Scream.
Yeah.
Which came out in January.
Yeah.
Have you
Yeah.
seen Pearl yet?
No. See,
Maybe you gotta watch
see,
it.
that's what I'm talking about. Like,
I'm
I
still
love-
out
I'm
on
like,
that one,
no.
too.
I love
Seen
Pearl.
that, you know.
I'm
Yeah.
waiting because it's Black Friday in a few days, and I'm just gonna buy everything that I missed.
Oh God, yeah.
For $10.
Everyone gets the emails from the Shout Factory. He's like, I know.
I can't wait to see what bullshit Vinegar Syndrome puts out for like $50 that I'm going to probably buy.
Synapse
Oh,
and
yeah.
Vinegar Syndrome and Severin and all them. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, all
They're
the good
really
stuff.
getting nuts. It's fucking great. And I'm so broke.
Every year I say I'm not going to spend money on this, and then I end up with like a 3-disc version of Thriller.
What? You did that last year. Halloween drained my account. So and we've got the two big events in December. We've got the Little Krampus celebration. It's our 5th year. And then we're bringing Felissa Rose to town on December 17th. So she gets all my money.
Sweet. That's pretty good. Well, what are we talking about tonight?
Tonight is the Queers of Horror. I want to talk about like the history. I want to talk about being in the industry. I want to talk about having a podcast. I want to talk about your favorite films, your heroines. People like I don't know, like Bram Stoker being in a fucking closet his entire life. Like all these little things that people have had to either endure or we've loved and nobody talks about. It's like there's so much to talk about when it comes to the subject, I think, but I don't want us to talk about it. I want them to talk about it to us, or we can ask questions, or if we have, I know I have a bunch, but let's start. Like, what was the very first time you've ever felt comfortable in a movie theater being a gay person? Go, Sydney.
I don't
Watching a horror film, if ever.
I don't think I've ever felt comfortable. And well, no, that's not fair because local skinny legend Daniel Cole rents out the movie theater for like the dolls to come and watch whatever. We watched I think Halloween 20. It wasn't 2018. It was Halloween. It was Halloween Kills there. We watched
Evil Dust Night.
Yeah, Evil Dies Tonight. The Godzilla movie. We watched a couple others. We watched Scream.
Yeah.
So like those, when I'm like in a theater where I know everybody like that's in there, I feel comfortable. But in a theater in general, since the Batman shooting in Aurora, I just don't really feel super great in movie theaters. Which is part of the reason why I wanted to have like movie night, like a queer movie night every month, where we could like go to a bar where we feel safe-ish and watch, whatever garbage I've selected to subject everyone to. But yeah, I don't really think, I think movie theaters are kind of scary. You're in a room that's dark with like a lot of steps and very little leg room. So if you have to get up and go to the bathroom, it's hard enough. Imagine trying to run out of a theater. I don't want to ever experience
I don't want to.
knocking on wood.
Yeah, that's a really honest fucking answer. Trevor, do you even go to the movies?
No, I do go to the movies.
Okay.
I do go to the movies.
When was the last time you walked into the movie theater and you were like, you know what? This is going to be good because you maybe even know what the themes are in the film, if it's gay forward or whatever, however you want to pronounce it, whatever you want to say about that.
I mean, I don't really know if I've ever had
Really?
that experience where I'm just like, oh yeah, like here we go.
No shit.
I mean, I've never really felt terribly uncomfortable in a movie theater. I mean, of course, like the Aurora shooting, like that. I mean, ever since that's happened, like every single time I sit down in the theater, I've had that moment where I'm like, okay, that's the exit. I'm pretty sure I can push this person down. And
He's just pointing
I
his
think it
shoulder.
that way. Yeah.
I can throw that baby that way.
But I mean, that pops into my head every single time. But I'm like, ooh, intrusive thought, get out, But I don't really know if I've ever had, an experience where I've been like either incredibly comfortable or incredibly uncomfortable.
Right.
It's been more of a neutral thing. But I am huge on movie theaters. I want them to continue to be a thing.
Yeah.
I refuse to watch anything that premieres on streaming services or apps. I refuse. So if a movie,
What do you mean by that? Like,
if
you refuse to go to the theater, or you refuse to see them streaming?
no, so if they do Halloween Ends, I hated it, but that's a good example. It released in theaters and on Peacock on the exact same day, and I refused to watch it on Peacock. I waited and saw it in a theater because I mean I like supporting that.
Yeah, those people worked their ass off on that piece of shit movie.
I was entertained.
Actually, I liked it. Yeah, we talked about that. Like, I liked it. I hated kills because of different reasons. It's like, I like the whole damn franchise, but goddamn.
Wait, you liked ends but not kills?
Yeah, we actually had an episode, me and another friend of mine who loves it. And yeah, because there's so much about it I just despised because I'm such a big fan of the original, and that's what thought I was going to be promised. There's a whole episode we did on this, and it's great because we have my friend who's just like going off, and I'm just like, God damn, they couldn't even get the jack-o'-lantern correct. Like, what the fuck? I get real nitpicky. Yeah. I usually don't, not anymore at least. But I decided to take on that character of like, I hate this movie and you love it. Like, I don't hate it. But it was fun to do that.
Yeah. And
there's a lot of truths in that episode of me saying like, God damn it. Like, wow. He became Jason Voorhees at the beginning of the movie. He's like, why is he killing all these fucking firefighters? My Michael Myers would have just slipped to the back room. And there we go. Right. Here comes the music. And he goes away. And it's just like, that's what I wanted. And they totally changed the whole dynamic of the character. But from his perspective, fuck you, Dave.
It's okay. It's okay, Steve.
I'll get through this.
And then,
but from their perspective, they were like, this is Michael going crazy. There's a whole episode. If you can find it, it's called Love Hates Halloween Kills episode. But yeah.
I listened to the Nightmare on Elm Street today.
Oh, God.
Yeah. I had a good time.
Yeah, we're so goofy, yeah. Especially when we all think we all are on the same page and we're like, gotcha.
Yeah, that was fun.
And then just throw out trash like a wild card I am.
Oh, God.
Like 15 minutes of you all arguing about why, I think it was Freddy's dead.
Freddy's dead.
Thank you, Freddy's dead. We were talking about Halloween. But yeah, why that one was like the end or the remake.
Yeah.
Or Freddy vs. Jason, which I think all of you were unfair about.
Oh, man. Yeah, my girlfriend fucking loves that movie. And she's like, fuck you guys. I'm like, well, it's when you came out, blah, blah.
It's when you saw it.
It's when you saw it. All those little things matter. Yeah. Like, the music you might like better than you did. That's like, oh, I love that fucking song or whatever. All these little bitty things that make a movie that touch you in a certain way.
Yeah, speaking of, you all talked about Kelly Rowland saying the F slur.
Yeah.
And I did a Twitter poll, which got 8 whole votes. And we decided as a community that yes, she can say it.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
That's awesome. There we go.
Yeah.
8 gays are a monolith.
But that matters. That's why this episode's it's awesome. That's good, though. At least the 8 of you decided it was great. Because I was like, I don't know, it makes me feel uncomfortable. But like, who thinks things are more uncomfortable than anybody else? White people. You shouldn't say that. And the Asian guy's like, that's how we eat, motherfucker. I'm like, oh, thank you. I don't know. That's what's great about these episodes that I definitely wanted to do. And I will say, the time I was with friends and they told me that they felt the most fun, that didn't even have to think about it, was at a Rocky Horror Picture Show event. It was at the Vogue. It was not the Baxter, because I know a lot of people know the Baxter Avenue one, but like the Vogue. And that's where I met so many of my friends. And I still am friends with those people today. And like especially back then, we didn't think about school shootings or a mass shooting or the Joker showing up to shoot everybody at a fucking Batman. All that shit. Yeah, that's a nice little page turn. Okay, next, happy stuff.
That was always really comfortable. Was Rocky Horror.
Yeah,
yeah. Because the Vogue was a little bit before my time, so I was
McCain's over there.
I just went to the Baxter Avenue one.
Yeah,
and I went every month from probably 2008 until I don't know whenever they stopped doing it. I forgot what year that was.
I don't know.
Recently, a bunch of pictures emerged online of me at the Rocky Horror at the Vogue.
Oh, yeah. Lipstick was on.
Nice black lipstick.
Yeah, thanks.
I saw that one.
First time I wore a dress. I did. I had hair and beautiful. First time. I've done it before. It's fine.
I've played the Toxic Avenger before. Tutus, so that counts.
Have y'all ever seen the stage play where it's not a shadow cast? It's just like
the Rocky Horror
musical. Yeah, just Rocky Horror.
No, I've never seen it live.
They do it at Play every year. Time Slip Theater puts it on. It's really cute.
That's badass. You should check it out.
Yeah, all the places that we're talking about are in Louisville, Kentucky, by the way. If you're watching this in Australia, who just picked this up, is Poland.
If you're watching
this in Poland. Yeah. So in Louisville, Kentucky, in the US of A.
You're an international podcast now.
Oh,
How's it? Doesn't it feel good? I have a listener in Singapore, so I know exactly.
It's amazing. No, it really, it feels unreal sometimes.
What are you going to do now?
Yeah.
Shut up.
You conquered everything.
This motherfucker.
Go to Disney World.
Exactly.
Oh, that's what Mike Tyson was saying.
He's trying to be an
that's a
asshole.
fucking. I don't know. What else?
I was gonna say I saw Rocky Horror on basic cable in the 90s. and I didn't even know it. I thought it was like a horror movie.
God.
I was like 14.
Yeah, and it's
And
completely.
I watched it and I was like, oh man, this is actually pretty good. And then like I rented it. Or I got my mom, I asked for it for Christmas. And I got a VHS copy of it for Christmas one year and watched it like a whole bunch. Then I saw it like not on cable and I was like, oh, there's a bunch of stuff in here I missed. And a little bit of backstory, I grew up like my mom took me to a Southern Baptist church.
Yeah,
so,
you were some ho-down, po-dum shit.
yeah,
Okay,
in
yeah.
a redneck ass town in Kentucky. So watching Rocky Horror, I was like, wow, this is great. I've never seen anything like this before. This is so good. And like all the songs, I would get this like stuck in my head and I couldn't like, and I was just like, opened a whole new world. I was like, maybe I do like musical theater.
Well, it's a gateway drug. That movie, that's why still people kind of forget about it because it's like, oh God, it's like fucking Dracula's dead or whatever, or Bela Lugosi's dead. It's like, yeah, okay, that's the fucking song everybody knows. But that's some people's start when it comes to either gay horror, trans horror, whatever. Then that's got it all. And that's what the movie is so amazing, and people kind of just discount it now. And I think Shock Treatment's better, but those two movies are life changing for some people, especially if like my daughter. I showed my daughter like Buffy and Rocky Horror, and she identified with that in a way I didn't even understand at the time. So that's the Rocky Horror Picture Show made people feel like, oh, I belong, and then we're still in Stone Age.
You like Shock Treatment better?
Yeah,
I mean, it's
I
good.
like the music. I like Jessica Harper better. I just like the songs better.
Okay.
I think that the production on Rocky Horror is better. Fuck off, man.
I'm getting a lot
Like,
of trash opinions from Steve tonight.
I don't give a shit, man. I love that fucking movie. Especially when I didn't even know it was a sequel when I had first seen it. I didn't even know. I was like, oh, this is fun. And then everyone's like, dumbass, that's the sequel to Rocky Horror Picture Show. I was like, oh, Janet, I'm a fucking idiot. Shut up.
Wait, it's a sequel?
Yeah.
Okay, work. I don't know those.
Yeah, Richard O'Brien directed it. Still, Patricia Quinn's in it. It's just that Janet and Brad are recast.
Now I have to see it. Stevie's been trying to get me to watch it.
Yeah.
But there's like a laundry list of movies that I've not seen.
Yeah.
Like you, I grew up in a podunk little Christian hellscape. And I didn't get to watch stuff. So like whenever I turned 18, I started like ingesting horror like a crazy person. So now I've got like what knowledge I do have, I've learned in the past 12 years. So I've missed out on a lot, and Shock Treatment's one of them.
Yes.
So what was like the first like queer horror film that you remember watching?
Or like new. That's like, oh, this is like,
Yeah, or that you saw the cues that other people probably didn't.
Friday the 13th.
Because there's a lot of that in horror history.
I mean, yeah, there are. Like, just in general?
Just
or
in
like,
general.
I mean, Nightmare 2, of course.
Yeah.
But, I mean,
See, that's the one I didn't even pick up on till later. And somebody was like,
I had friends that told me about that. And I was like,
and then they were like,
oh.
"Hey, it's a movie about being gay." And I watched it, and I'm like, "Is it?"
Yeah, that went way over my head as a kid.
Yeah, when he's like, there's someone trying to get inside of me.
Yeah, right. No, my dad picked up on like Bride of Frankenstein,
Mm-hmm.
but I think he knew that James Whale. I mean, this is when I was born, so this is fucking the 70s. I think he already knew that like the whole gay history of the film. But see, I didn't see it that way. And he's like, that's for gay people.
Yeah. I mean, that
It's one of his favorite movies.
That
But it's
one
like,
is.
I'm like, what is that?
Nuanced,
Yeah. Yeah.
It's kind of hidden a little bit.
There's a lot of hidden Dracula. I was just talking about Dracula, how Bram Stoker writes that one scene where he stops the vampire bride. It's like, he's mine, like in capital letters. But then that's in almost every stage play. It's in every movie. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't, 30 years ago, people started talking about him being closeted the whole time. Like, I didn't pick up on that kind of stuff. Well, fuck you, Trevor.
What did you see that we didn't, Trevor?
I don't know. It must just. I guess it's just built in. I have no idea. But like,
It's your gaydar.
well, I mean, you have the end. I mean, I can only speak for myself, but like, you have those, especially when you're closeted. Growing up, like, you can see things in other people that you're like, you do that. Oh, okay, yeah, no, you see, like, we all kind of. I mean, everybody on Earth, it's like we all have kind of lived this almost same threads of existence.
Yeah.
So I feel like you can pick up on those things a little bit easier. Like, if you are experiencing them and like you just see that like one little subtle thing and you're like, oh, okay.
I call it sister clocking.
Yeah.
Oh, she's a sister?
Sister Clacky. Fuck yeah. That's like the updated gaydar. Is that what that?
It's gaydar for the gays.
Oh, okay.
Like if I see
Nice.
somebody at the store and I'm like, are you? And then, like, I observe them for a moment. Next thing you know, I'm like, oh, she's a sister. She's a sister. Hey, girl.
That's fucking awesome. Shit, yeah. See, I don't have that. I don't know why.
Yeah. Consider yourself lucky, honestly.
Oh no shit.
Yeah, it's a heavy burden.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Wow, that's fucking great. Though.
My first, I think time realized I guess it's not queer. It is queer. Carrie. For me, watching it, I was like, I think it was the first time that my brain started to actually like work and was like, oh, you relate to this. Why? And I thought about it more, and it's kind of like the catalyst for me getting into thinking like more critically about like queerness in films that aren't explicitly queer. So I think it's probably Carrie.
Wow. What was the first one you thought represented it well? Being gay.
I think Carrie's a pretty. I mean, if you kind of like transfer Carrie's like. I mean, it's hard to do because her womanhood is literally like the whole thing to the film. But if you kind of like put a gay person in her place, her life mirrors a lot of gay people, mine included, quite a lot. So I think it's a pretty good representation of like growing up gay with like a very religious family and being like literally thrown into a closet. Pray, Carrietta.
Oh man, you put that together.
Yeah,
Fuck me.
Little things.
Getting bullied all the time and having stuff that like instead of a tampon for me, it would just be like shoved into a locker or like called the F slur. I don't know if I can say it on here.
Fuck yeah.
Being called a faggot or a queer or a fruit or whatever. So like those things mirror like growing up queer a lot. And then at the end, whenever she gets hold of her power and she's like burning shit down and beating people with fire hoses, like I watched that and I was like, like I would have like the wrath I would have wrought if I just had superpowers. And honestly, probably a good thing I didn't because there'd be a lot of dead people.
Ooh, yeah, that's a good way to look at it. I mean, she's like a fucking school shooter in a way.
Yeah,
that's exactly how I looked at it. You know, I mean, not from when I first saw it, but in recent times, I'm like, oh, Carrie's a fucking school shooter.
Yeah, a lot of. I think I've talked to a lot of queer people about this, like growing up and like, what do you do with all of your rage? What do you do with all of those hormones and all of that anger and hurt? What do you do with it? A lot of us just grow up to be fantastic people, and some of us are mean or turn to drugs or whatever. But what if we did have like superpowers? You know, what could we possibly like do whenever if you had unchecked power? And I mean, I think about it still. Like I'm on the road, and I wish I had Magneto powers because some idiot in front of me is acting up, and I'm just gonna go.
You're right.
Bye, girl.
Oh man. Yeah.
So it's a good thing we don't have those. But yeah, it's like you grow up bullied. You go to like really dark places and you think like really really messed up shit, and then thank God most of us haven't done that.
Right.
It's easy. It's a really interesting, like, not a character study so much as like a societal study of how far like society will push an individual to be on the brink or to consider doing something that would be so monstrous, Mm-hmm. So not to give pity to people who do it, of course.
No.
But like it is interesting and important to understand like how people get there.
Yeah.
And how quickly and closely people can get to that point. I think Carrie's a really good. I love Carrie. Carrie's like that movie for me.
What did you think of the remakes?
So actually, I'm a devil's advocate for the remake. I think
Now, there's two of them.
Yeah, which one?
Oh, not the TV version.
Yeah,
the one with Chloe.
Yeah, Moretz. Like the queen of the remakes.
And what's the mom? Who? Oh my God, who plays Margaret?
Dave can look it up.
Julia.
Oh, Julianne Moore.
Julianne Moore.
Fucking rad.
She turned that out. She really did. Because I love the original Carrie. She's given, or the original Margaret. She's giving camp.
Yeah, it's Piper Laurie.
Yeah, she's serving. Like she was a fun Unhinged to watch. Like it's hard to watch because it's sad, but also like that you better work. But Julianne played it very different, and I thought she really ate that part out. So I actually really like the remake. I think it was like 2000
2013.
2013.
No, I'm already close. Yeah, something like
Yeah,
that.
something like that.
2011, I think. Is what it was.
Yeah, I made a comment a few episodes ago about her Chloe being like the queen of remakes because she's in so many remake horror films like the Amityville Horror. She's in Let the Right One In. She's in Carrie. She's in so many fucking great ones, and that's another fucking great movie. Let the Right One In. I can't remember in the remake if they even reveal that it is a boy, even though we all think it's a girl. But I know in the original film it is, and the story, of course. But like, yeah, I have a whole list of queer films and so like ones that are buried, like Fright Night or whatever. And that was one of them. Let the Right One In is a fantastic remake, and it's a Hammer horror film, and they were some of the first people to make queer horror films, but it was a lot more accepted to have like girl on guild vampires, like vampire lovers, stuff like that.
Yeah, that was way more acceptable.
It's cool, man.
More easily digestible at the time.
Right.
Unrelated, but have y'all kind of related because lesbian vampires? Have y'all seen Daughters of Darkness? It's the Belgian film that.
Is that Jess Franco? No, it's Belgian. He's not Belgian.
Yeah, it was.
Look it up, Dave.
Yeah, look it up. It was fabulous. It's on. I think it's on Prime right now.
What year did it come out?
Oh, was that the 71?
70s. Yeah, it was. I think that I don't know if y'all watch Horror Story, but Horror Story Hotel, Gaga's character, I'm pretty sure she lifted the entire character of the Countess. It was like, I'm going to do that because like the outfits, the mannerisms, the way she the cadence of her speech were all very, very similar. And it was actually Gaga's portrayal that led me to Daughters of Darkness, which is now one of those films that I'm like, this is gay as fuck, and I love it.
Oh my God. Well, let's be personal. When did you all come out? At what age?
Either.
Yeah.
That's okay. So I came out to my grandma when I was like 10, and then she died right after. Not literally in front of me, but a few weeks, maybe a couple months, a few weeks, maybe a month or two later, she passed. And then I was oh my God, I killed grandma. And then I didn't tell my mom for another 2 years. And then I went to Christian school. And then I got out of Christian school because I was like, this ain't working, y'all. I'm gay. And then they were like, you can leave or we can expel you. And I was like, baby, I'm gone.
Yeah.
So I left. And then I thought I thought coming out was going to be really cool. And I was going to go to high school and be like Sharpay Evans from High School Musical. But I really got the Glee experience.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Trevor?
I was 18.
Oh,
I was
wow.
18. I mean, the first
adult
time I came out, yeah. I came out to my sister. I was 12, and she didn't talk to me for 2 weeks.
Oh, wow.
So I went back in. But yeah, then I fully, full ass came out when I was 18. I had I felt like I had enough money to take on the world. And, I had a part-time job, and I was like, fuck yeah, I don't care.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it was good, it gave me a confidence boost. But yeah, I mean, I came out when I was 18.
Yeah.
Did you stay or go whenever you came out?
Stayed. Yeah. It actually went really fucking well. And I was like, why was I freaking out?
You got lucky.
I got very lucky. I got very lucky because not everyone has that experience.
Well, the reason I asked that is not just to be personal. It's to ask when you were able to go to a movie theater or see a movie with someone and be either with a partner or another gay person or even just a friend who's not, and been like, we're going to go watch this gay ass horror film and you're going to love it. Or, when did that happen? When was that? Did that ever happen? Or has it ever happened?
I mean, it definitely happens now. It took me a long time to find my tribe, though. I came out, I barrel rolled out of the closet, went to public school, dropped out, and did the bullying, and then got a job at Zappos, got my apartment as soon as a training team, moved to Louisville, and then slowly found a gaggle of trans women and was like, oh, these are my people. And then now I'm here. So that was 12, 13 years ago now.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, college for me.
Yeah.
That was when I first really fully started living, as, I'm just oh, hey, I'm gay. And it wasn't a thing. And nobody knew me before. It was actually really easy. And I hate to say that, but it was really easy for me because I was okay, yeah, I don't know any of these fucking people. They have no preconceived notions, and and so it was a little bit easier. Maybe that was a cop out. I don't know.
No, you timed it perfectly in your life
Right.
to make it easiest, whether it was on purpose or not.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't done purposely. It just kind of like happened, and I was like, well, I'm going to college, so fuck it, let's.
That's the time to do it.
Yeah,
honestly.
be gay, do crime.
Oh, you spoke about American Horror Story for a minute. Was it Ryan Murphy?
Mm-hmm.
He makes like the American Horror Story is embedded in queer
Oh yeah,
culture.
it's gay as fuck.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But you get a lot of that now in TV shows, and sometimes they embrace it, and then in other TV shows they don't. Like Hannibal. I don't know if you've ever seen the Hannibal TV show.
Oh, it's
Well,
fucking amazing.
You should watch it and tell me that it's not queer. You
I'm
can't.
sure it
You
is.
can't. It absolutely like they get to the line and then they decide not to cross it, and then they go right back to the line and then decide not to cross it. And my wife is really big into that show, and she's like, "But they just fucking kiss. They just get it over with."
I remember reading about Hannibal. That's it doesn't have theories, right?
No.
So is it like an origin story?
Yes, it's before Red Dragon. Brian Fuller's the guy who created it. He developed it, and it's like I said, it's right there. There's lots of like Hannibal is a queer character without saying he's a queer character.
I could tell that just from watching him in his little prison cell. I was
Yeah.
like, that's just sir.
He is a squirrely little man.
Well, watch Hannibal, and you'll see it. You'll see exactly what we're seeing, what everybody else is seeing. You'll probably see more, and you'll be like, yeah, it's happening.
I'll send notes.
Send notes, please.
Have y'all seen Chucky? The series?
Yes, it's great. It's great.
Okay.
It is, and the best part about it is there's one scene where the main kid comes out as gay, and Chucky's like, he tells Chucky, and Chucky's like, "Why would I care about that? I'm not a monster."
Yeah.
That's so awesome. And if you want to think about it, his son.
Yeah, Glenn or Glenda.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Don Mancini, who did like all the Child's Play
He is
stuff
gay.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He still looks amazing. This guy's like 55 years old. And he looks fucking like he's made out of glass. Fuck, man. Jeez.
Oh, man.
I guess from here on, and we'll edit this part out if it's okay. Then we'll just take turns talking. I just feel like I'm taking over. I don't like that.
Y'all were talking about Carrie kind of being like a revenge fantasy. I was reading, there's this person who wrote something on Bloody Disgusting. Alice Collins wrote a whole article about Sleepaway Camp being a trans revenge fantasy, where kind of to wrap it all up, it's just, they said it feels good to see the trans girl take out the pedophiles and bullies over the course of the film.
That's exactly
It's
what
like-
she's doing.
Yeah, which is,
Or he's doing, because
That's a complicated movie.
Yeah.
Because on one hand, yes, work bitch, you better kill the pedos. But also, I'm like, you didn't want to be trans. So you're
Right.
not
Yeah,
trans.
that
You're
was-
like, you've been abused.
That's a great movie to talk about, because
That's
like
what
I said-
conservatives like to pretend that parents are doing to their kids when they give them gender affirming care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a film that's either it's had its waves like a pendulum. It's like when people came out, it's like, oh, it's anti-trans, and now it's been embraced again, and then it goes back and forth. And she talks about, like I said, she's coming to town in a couple of weeks, and she's like, I can't wait to meet all my trans gay fans, because I love them so much, and they're such big supporters. And I'm thinking, I didn't say this, but she's probably going to hear this. Is like, yeah, but there's a lot of people who actually hate that movie because they don't see it that way.
Yeah.
How do you guys feel about it?
I'm on both sides.
Yeah.
I still love it. Like, I love the movie because it's campy. I love the sequels.
Yeah.
I think it's the second one that gets really, really stupid. That's the one. That's my
It's got
favorite.
some great music though.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah. Was it fucking Bruce Springsteen's sisters?
Yeah.
Angela.
Yeah, I mean, I can see both sides of that too. I'm not trans. I can't speak on behalf of like what a trans person thinks of that film, but at the same time, it wasn't something that she actually chose, or he actually chose. They actually chose.
I always default to they too.
Yeah,
It doesn't feel right calling
you
them
don't know,
she.
yeah.
It doesn't feel right calling them
Yeah.
he.
but I don't know what that character felt. I mean,
Rage.
we didn't want the
A little bit.
didn't want that, but at the same time, you kind of go into, yes, it's a revenge story, but then you also have the whole, like, the other, I have nothing in common with, like, most people that would watch the movie, they don't have a lot in common, and it becomes, the other becomes the killer. It becomes like almost a cautionary tale. And that happens in a lot of horror, like, I mean, Anthony Perkins in Psycho.
Oh, absolutely.
That character, it's, okay. So, I mean, and that kind of segues into like, not so much representation, but how LGBT people are represented in horror films.
I think that's a good example of, I think that they maybe I mean, I can't speak for the fucking filmmakers, but it's like the twist ending was to even horrify you more. So in a way, it's pretty fucking like, fuck you. But now that's people like taking it back saying, no, how about fuck you? We'll embrace this movie and make it our own.
Exactly. I just remember being very confused when I saw it as a kid. I saw it at like 10
I used
years.
to draw her.
Well, I saw it at 10 years old.
All
And
the
like,
time.
I didn't understand what was happening. I was like, wait, so that's a boy? And like, I couldn't rewind it because I just watched it with my mom and she's just as horrified as I am. So I couldn't go back and be like, wait. And it took me a couple years. I was like, oh, okay, I get it now.
It's really
We also
interesting.
didn't have language for it back then.
Yeah.
Like the language back then was very limited, whereas now we can like sit back and discuss it ad nauseum forever.
No, it
Right.
wouldn't have been made. They wouldn't even allow it into the theater.
God no, especially now. Today, no. Mm-mm. We're never gonna get a sleepaway camp sequel unless it's like direct to video, a fan made like Friday 13th kind of film. Like it's not gonna happen.
Yeah, I wrote down a couple because I got two different sides because there was like everything I kept reading about it from different trans people who kind of like reviewed the movie were all like all on both sides. Like they hated it or they loved it, or there was kind of like it's got its faults.
It's like feminist and Psycho.
Yeah, but it has its faults, but it definitely it starts somewhere.
Yeah.
You have a representation. This one quote I got was it's nearly every single transgender person grows up being raised in a gender role that does not fit, but that doesn't mean they're mentally ill or seriously violent or going to go on a killing spree, which is they're like, I don't like this movie because of that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But on the other end, it's like, I want to see this person get revenge on all the people that fucked them over.
On a second
On a
viewing.
second viewing. Yeah, on a second
Viewing. That's the person that goes out and buys and goes, now let's really fucking enjoy this movie. I couldn't see that. High Tension is another one that I fucking love. And you all have seen that? It's a French Canadian film. Was it Alexandre Aja?
Mhm.
Fantastic big movie, and it is a slasher. It's brutal as hell, and it was a big budget film. It got released theatrically, and have you seen what I'm talking about?
I've seen bits and pieces of it.
My God,
I fell asleep on my first viewing. Not
How did you
because
fall
it-
asleep?
Not because it was
Like literally the first scene of the movie is some dude getting head from a severed head in his truck.
it was so comforting.
I like that. It's great. I love it. My daughter actually turned me on to it, and she was like, "You need to check this movie out." I'm like, "What have I done? This I raised this to watch this? Oh my God!" It's just really brutal, and I can't spoil it. Fuck.
It's a French movie. Is it French?
Yeah, it's French Canadian.
Yeah,
It's
French
Canadian.
Canadian. Oh, French Canadian. Okay.
They did
Yeah.
some really fucked up horror movies.
Well,
Isn't
David
it?
Cronenberg talking about body horror.
Yeah.
Yeah, David Cronenberg came from Canada. There's so many great body horror films. I mean, what name off some of your favorite films? Educate us, because I have an idea of what I like, but I want to know more.
Should I go first?
Oh, yeah.
Go first.
Go ahead.
So Carrie, obviously.
Yeah.
Daughters of Darkness. Oh my God, I'm drawing a blank. What's that werewolf movie with the lesbians?
Ginger Snaps.
Ginger Snaps.
Yeah.
Freddy 2.
Also Canadian.
So Nightmare on Elm Street 2 for sure. Is it a good movie? But I enjoy it.
I love it. Definitely
I
ranked
love it.
lower than 6.
Yeah. If I have to rank it in the Nightmare series, it's like
We'll
4.
turn off your microphone.
But it's queer, so it also is number 1, which is because I'm an elitist. And then I think another like queer movie that I love that's not really horror, but it's horror it's like within the realm is Addams Family Values. I consider anything that's like spooky or like dark comedy enough, like horror. So Serial Mom is another one. Love Serial Mom.
Oh, yeah.
It's not super gory or anything, but she does beat someone with a white pump. That's camp and it's gay.
She said Pussy Willows.
She
wears it after Labor Day.
Daddy.
Yeah.
Like I love that. I think top 3: Carrie, Daughters of Darkness, serial mom. But that changes every day.
Yeah, I'm awful with ranking things. When we rank it, I'm just totally just having fun and being like, maybe one of those is in my actual ranking list because it's so hard for me to be like, well, this is my favorite because there's so many genres, subgenres, whatever, zombie films. Like,
Yeah.
fuck.
Don't it blow your mind?
Yeah.
Scream is a queer horror film.
Yes.
Well, you talked about this.
That was going to be on my list. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, okay.
And The Lost Boys.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
That's so horny.
Yeah, that is my favorite gay horror film, and oh my god, yes.
I've never thought
Well,
of
it's
a movie
structured
like that,
like
but yeah. But I can see it.
Kiefer Sutherland in The Lost Boys was part of my awakening.
That's fucking beautiful.
What's that haircut?
All of it. Billy Wirth is my favorite.
It's yeah.
Billy Wirth, who plays fucking Dwayne, he's my favorite goddamn character in the whole movie. But yeah, he's still alive. They're all just dropping like flies. What else? That's it? Scream and Lost Boys? That's all you got?
No, I mean Scream,
What
Lost
a
Boys.
waste.
Nightmare 2. Fuck you.
Just so shady.
Yeah, I mean, Scream, Lost Boys, Nightmare 2, because it is incredibly fucking gay.
Yeah.
The entire, basically anything that Clive Barker's ever made.
I was going to bring him up in a minute. Yeah,
Those are fun.
Nightbreed is all about that's
Yeah.
what it's telling you. Yeah.
Nightbreed, Hellraiser, if you're into some really kinky shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I like the subversive horror film. Like it's got layers. It's got layers. It's for mass audiences, but if you want to go another layer, it's got this. If it's for gay audiences, you can see it there. If you just want to see gore movies, it's got there. Hellraiser is that movie for so many people, and especially for me because I didn't even pick it up. I think I read it in the Courier Journal, which is a local newspaper, about the guy who wrote this is a gay icon. I'm like, I didn't even, and the picture they had of him wasn't even him. I remember that. I still have that cut out upstairs.
You never read
Nice.
Rawhead Rex, did you?
I didn't read it, but I've seen the movie 100 times.
Fucking giant dick monster.
Yeah, I know. The whole thing is a big monolith to Irish dicks. Most Irish dicks are not very big. I'm just saying.
I have a list of movies that I consider queer horror. And I'd like to ask you what you think.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
So starting off, so just yes if it's queer, no if it's not. Young Frankenstein.
Gay, so gay. Yes.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer with Chrissy Swanson.
Duh.
Boots. Ticked off tea slurs with knives. Are you familiar?
Never seen that.
It stars Willem from Drag Race.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. Well, I have it, and it's controversial, and I love it.
I watched that on HBO.
Always down for controversy.
I had the one who plays the Nurse Connie Lingus.
Oh yeah.
I had her on the podcast.
Oh wow, nice.
She actually lived in Lexington. She lives in Texas now, but she used to live in Lexington, and she's a hoot and holler. I love her.
Nice.
The People Under the Stairs.
1000%.
Obviously, Elvira's Haunted Hills is gay as fuck.
Duh.
Daughters of Darkness.
I've never seen that.
We have to get.
But
I love that you brought a movie none of us have seen.
It sounds pretty gay though. Like lesbian.
It's on my list.
Lesbian vampire cult. Or
So it's an erotic lesbian vampire Belgian foreign slasher movie, but it's also a comedy, but it's also horror, but it's also porn.
there's
We're all going to watch this together.
It's on my list of things to show.
Keeps my interest.
It's on my list of things to show at Bellarmine whenever I have movie nights there now. So Really Queer will be there. And it's on my list of things to show because I love to talk about women in horror. I love to talk about beautiful gowns, and there are many. I love to talk about lesbian shit, sapphic violence, and the vampires in general are just gay as fuck. But they're also seductive. And there's a lot to mine from there, so I can just have the mic and talk for as long as I want. Everybody stays plugged in. That's what I love. Dawn of the Dead, the one in the mall.
The original.
There's no queer characters.
There's no queer characters, but I could kind of see that because they're held up in a mall.
They're held
They're
in
shopping, and the scene. Oh my god, the makeover montage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also all gays work in retail, with the exception of the two of us.
No, I work in retail.
There we go.
You want some makeup counter and call
Every time I go into a store for the first time, I have to find the person there that's queer. And I'm looking around because I will talk to no one else.
Yeah. He
we
works
like
at a
that.
Halloween store and runs the makeup counter.
Well, Caulfield.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah.
That's right. We actually met at the Elvira,
Yeah, we did.
Elvira Haunted Hills. Yeah. I remember talking about your jacket. I was looking at your jacket. I was like, that looks familiar.
Oh.
Let's see. Attack of the Killer Tomatoes I consider gay just because it's campy, it's stupid.
Yeah.
I Know What You Did Last Summer.
100%.
That. Scream, we've already decided. Showgirls.
I love that.
It's a half joke.
All Verhoeven at his best.
Dude, that movie's a 10.
Oh, it's on the list, but Bride of Chucky.
Oh yeah. Yes.
Yes. I feel like if
yes.
Don Mancini gets his
Absolutely,
hands on it,
yes. Yeah.
it's good today.
His character. Was
That's a
great,
great-
too.
Yeah.
His character was ridiculous. I loved it. But definitely Bride of Chucky. That kind of is like the makeover, the Tiffany makeover montage
She's so
was fucking clutch when I was a kid, and I think that is partially why I got into doing makeup.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Because I was like black lipstick and a leather jacket.
Yeah.
But, kind of wanted to be her. But
He did a film when I was younger called, I think it was called Bound, maybe, with Gina Gershon.
Yeah.
Fucking goddamn. That one got me like, I like this movie.
Like it's brought up a lot when
Oh,
we
does
talk
it?
about like queer shit. It's bound. Do y'all listen to horror queers at all?
Mm-hmm. The
Trace,
podcast, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trace Thurman and Joe Lipset.
I know of it, but I haven't.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Trace who brings it up every opportunity that he gets to talk about Bound, because he's obsessed with Gina Gershon, and also it's lesbian as fuck.
Yeah, I love that movie. I think I've got it on VHS on these walls around here.
Gina Gershon.
Oh.
She's very sultry.
Well, that movie in general is just fucking great. It's beautiful. It's beautiful to look at. Like that was a time in like 90s, like thriller movies like that. What's they did a remake of a French film called goddamn it, with Ewan McGregor. Is it Ewan McGregor? Who fucking plays Obi-Wan Kenobi?
Ewan McGregor.
Ewan McGregor.
Yeah.
What the fuck is it called? Night Shift or Night something. Doesn't matter. And it's a fantastic movie. All those movies, they're just lurid. Like the colors, the acting. It's like, oh god. And that movie is a part of that whole like independent, like coming from dimension movies. You know, you can hear the trailer in your head. So that movie, it's in my top 10 of that style of like 90s movies.
Night Watch.
Night Watch, thank you. Yeah, and so it's a remake by the same director who just remade his own movie for American audiences with Nick Nolte and Patricia Arquette, Josh Brolin. Fuck, man, it's amazing.
Yeah. Speaking of 90s movies, I was thinking, I probably watched Interview with the Vampire a lot as a kid, and was like, this movie's great.
Yeah.
And just missed all that. It went right over my head as a kid.
Really?
I was like,
Yeah,
these two guys are really good friends.
Yeah, I mean, you had David Beckham, you have Laura Jordan, you got all these people who are making the movie. So I thought it was very much because he just come off of The Crying Game and made Interview with the Vampires. I thought that was like his statement.
Yeah, I got older and I was like, oh, I missed all that.
Yeah, I guess I forgot how much older I am.
I was like 12 when they came out.
Fuck, I already had kids.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the show. Has anybody seen Interview with the
I
Vampires?
haven't watched the show either, but I heard it was good.
Okay.
Twitter loves it, so I'm sure I'll love it. I just haven't gotten the chance.
Twitter.
Who has time to watch things right now?
God, that's what I meant. Like, it's just I'm bombarded. I don't even watch The Walking Dead. All of a sudden, that's streaming again. Like, I mean, trending again. It's like, fuck. And I know it's like the last episode.
It's because it's over.
It's because it's over.
Which, thank God.
Fuck yeah, I hate it.
You hate it?
I loved it
Yeah.
for a few years
Just like those
until
people.
Did you fall off in season 4 too?
what happened in season?
I think season 4 is whenever after they get to the prison. Once they got to prison, I was like, this is dumb.
Yeah, I kind of stopped watching it at that point, but then especially like when Glenn died, like that was a fucking awesome effect. But I hated it.
That's when I stopped reading the comic.
Yeah.
Because I used to read the comic. I'd get them every
Like, you
week
need
with it.
the code. Like the subversive color code, like the covers.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, like, basically, the comics, like, you could always tell when something bad was going to happen
That's what I
because
meant,
something really good would happen.
Oh, yeah.
And in that comic, it was
Sets
issue
it up.
100. Maggie's like, I'm pregnant. And Glenn's like, yay. And then Negan, like, fucking breaks his skull. And I just remember reading it and putting it down and be like, just fucking done.
Yeah.
It's too much. Like, because you think the TV show is bad, man. Read the books, and you get so much more emotionally attached to these people. It's just the fucking
That's
why-
what was brilliant about it. though.
no, that was great, and I will one day finish it because I've got all the trades, and I kept buying comics after that, so I've got up to like 120 or something like that. But I can get the trades, no problem, and I'll finish it one day.
It's emotionally traumatizing to every single episode have something good happens, and then immediately something unimaginably horrible happens. Your favorite character dies, and you're left.
Can't we
You're
just
left feeling like crap.
Yeah, can't we just end on a good note once?
Yeah.
Like
Where's the
everybody's
musical episode.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
That's what they needed.
Yeah.
I mean, it was hard because like it was really cool seeing that because I was like, I love how fucking violent this is. This is awesome. But at the same time, I liked it. And that upset me really. And I was like, fuck this show. I know it's great.
That's something that we all talk about we want, and then when we get it, we're like, fuck me.
It's great writing because that was the only death in that show that really made me like feel something.
Yeah.
It's like I think Herschel
I was gonna say
got his head chopped off. Maybe what was it before that or after that? I can't remember.
Before.
I felt nothing. I was like, good.
Yeah, that you can't deny what that show did for horror in general. Like that put it on the map where now it's a television show a week. There's a movie a week. There's independent movies that weren't going to get released are being released. That show, it's like that Shaun of the Dead and the Dawn of the Dead remake just exploded horror in the 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like, thank you. And then we get a lot of crap, and then we have our emotional breakdowns, and we want to cry.
Did y'all ever play the game? The Telltale series?
Oh, the Walking Dead one.
Yeah.
I played the first one, but then I was like, oh, well, you get the dog, and the dog killed me because I didn't feed the dog. It killed me, and I was like, this game's too emotional for me, man. I might end up having to kill this dog.
It is very emotional. I played up to the Michonne one. I don't know if there were any more after that, and I cried more times than I care to admit to that game. It's like The Last of Us. Every time I play The Last of Us, I'm just like weeping.
I mean, I'll admit it. I started God of War, the new God of War game the other day, and I was bawling my eyes out at the beginning of it because, like, it's just a dog that dies, man.
Oh,
Really sad.
Well, there's the app now. It's like the dog dies in the movie or whatever it's called.
Well, it doesn't tell you for the fucking video game. I'm just like, I just got like a single tear, and
I was hoping for
I'm
you.
hoping Rachel doesn't come out next, in the room and be like, oh my God, my fucking day's ruined. I saved
What do
another wolf earlier.
Katie's the same way, man.
It's like, Dave, what are you doing here? You're like, don't come in.
I pulled up a quick list of television and LGBT character and shows, and we've already talked about almost everything on here. American Horror Story, The Walking Dead's on here, Supernatural, True Blood, there's Teen Wolf, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. All of these great fucking shows that I don't think we would even have if you didn't have Buffy and you didn't have The Walking Dead. I mean, fuck Joss Whedon, but like the things that he was able to accomplish at a time when nobody gave a shit about the horror genre, I think it's great. But like we were talking about watching characters die, like when I watched Wash get killed in Serenity coming from that television show, and he's one of the best characters, and he gets fucking killed like that, and you're like, I'm out of here. Fuck this Coke and $10 soft drink. But okay, what as in television shows, what was the first one you actually latched onto because of the subtext?
Buffy.
Boom. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. I'm a true blue gay. It's
I
Buffy.
love that show.
I didn't have one.
You really?
Yeah, I haven't.
You were more of a movie person?
I was more of a movie person.
Okay.
I was more of a movie person. I didn't really watch a whole lot of television.
It's
growing
okay.
up,
It's all right, man.
Yeah.
I used to sneak watching Buffy. Yeah, whenever I was a kid, I was not allowed to like ingest secular media at all. So I would be at my Nana's house, and I'd go into her son's room, who was like off at school or whatever, and I could watch TV in there while she watched like the news, and I'd watch Buffy very quietly on FX. And I came in, started watching it, I think around season 3.
Oh, it's such a great one.
My first, but like time seeing anything of Buffy was whenever it was the episode where Faith kills a man, Bad Girls, I think it was, and I was addicted from there. And then I caught the reruns. Watching TV back then was very different than it is today.
Mm-hmm.
So it took me a while to get caught up, but I was invested. And then they had the musical episode, Tara Dies. Like that was also, I think, actually, truly, Buffy was probably the first time I ever saw like a queer person. And it was Allison Hannigan and I can't remember her name, but Tara. Amber Benson.
Yeah,
on
Ambulance
TV.
is so good. I collected all the magazines when they were coming out, and they came out with the Angel magazines, and they came out with Angel Buffy magazines, and I had all that crap. I still have the graphic novels and all that stuff.
They also have a couple of those in the comics. Yeah.
Yeah, I love the comics. I wanted the season 8, but the season 8 comic series was good enough for me. Did you watch any reading any of those?
So the problem is they're each like $15, and whenever they were coming out, I was a broke queer drag queen. So I didn't have money to
You were
buy.
spending money on other things.
Yeah, I had to buy makeup, not like comic books. So
Yeah.
I didn't really get into it. But there's a compendium, I think it's called. Now it's like all of season 8 in one thing, and I really want to get it. Or alternatively, they could just make it into like one of those animated.
Motion comics.
Yeah, motion comics like they do with DC. I would love that.
That's a great idea.
I think it's Dark Horse. So Dark Horse, if you're listening.
Yeah. Well, the Watchmen came out as a motion comic. Red Sonja came out as a motion comic. There's a lot of this. That was like a big thing for a minute. And then nobody talks about them, so bummer. Where do you guys want to go from here?
Well, I think there's one movie I made notes about that we haven't brought up, which was Butcher Baker, Nightmare Maker.
Oh,
Jesus.
I just watched that for the first time, like recently.
Yeah, me too. I watched it probably like in the last year or so, but
It had just gotten released to the masses finally, because you couldn't find it for the longest time, and now you can find it
And
streaming.
they showed it on Joe Bob.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right. That's right.
Yeah, I watched it on Shudder, I think.
but that was like one of the first to have like a homosexual male character as a positive figure in the movie.
Mhm.
And
they don't die.
yeah, and they don't.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
They didn't bury the gay. What a trope smashing movie.
Yeah, there was somebody was one of the quotes I got from him was like saying, he's a gay man, but he's not like a pervert. He's not.
Mhm.
He's just like he likes men. He's got a boyfriend, and his boyfriend's murdered. Not a stereotype. Like it was just like a positive,
Just
gay person in a movie.
Just witness like a black person like doesn't have to be like, hey, what's going on, man? He's like, I'm George.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was just like a regular character in the movie, which at the time was a huge deal in like the early that part of the 80s when that came out.
Yeah.
But yeah, and plus the mom in that movie is like Carrie type levels crazy, which is also makes it like an insane kind of movie to watch as well.
Yeah. Trevor, where do you want to go next? Your realm is special makeup effects and makeup effects, by itself as well. And you run a makeup counter at a local Halloween store that's been around since 1920.
Yes.
What is it like, basically, because I know you see drag queens every fucking day. What's it like either helping them, seeing somebody who needs help, who doesn't even know how to ask questions? Like, do you get to see that a lot? Do you see the timid person is like, come on, baby, come over here.
Yeah. It's
There's
not,
like so much questions I want to ask from where you're.
it's not an everyday occurrence,
Right.
but it's that little gem, that comes in when, either you have like, because like I do see a lot of drag queens, that come in and buy makeup. Most of them know exactly what they want, which is great, because I'm like, cool, I don't have to color match anybody today. This is awesome.
This is water activated.
Yeah, but then I'll have, I'll occasionally have like a baby queen come in and they're like, just like looking. And I'm like, is there anything I can help you with? And they're like, no, I'm good. And I'm like, okay. And then they're looking some more. And then 5 minutes later, they're like, and I'm like, no, come here. Like, let's do it.
How do you approach them?
That's what I guess I was trying to ask the
You
question.
usually see the look of bewilderment in someone's eyes, like
Especially being at the counter with all that makeup.
yeah,
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I get overwhelmed, and I'm very seasoned. But
Yeah.
like whenever you see, like, if I didn't know what I was doing and I was walked in, I was just like, how would you like approach me? To be like, hey, do you need help?
Yeah, just hey, basically, usually it's if there's anything you'd like to see, just let me know, and then that kind of opens a door where it's like, well, I think I need one of these, but I don't know what I need, and like, what do you recommend? Like, so and so told me to go, like, if they don't have like a drag mom, like, so and so told me to like, go like 1 or 2 shades darker, and then this and that, or sometimes like, they'll have someone that told them to get like this list of things that is completely wrong and will not work.
It worked for Nancy.
Yeah. I don't do drag again, so I don't really, know all of the nuances of it, but I know makeup.
Yeah,
and I know lighting, and I'm like, baby, no, and I will say that I don't give a shit.
Especially now with people who have a million filters on their cameras that they're going to use for their tutorials.
I'm not gonna let you walk out with something that's gonna make you look fucking crazy.
Yeah. Or God forbid, too dark.
Yeah.
And then it's
too dark or too light.
yeah.
There's no refunds, is there?
No,
Not to make up. No.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was joking, but like,
yeah, but I mean, so that's kind of cool. And then I've also had people that have come in that are kind of and people that have just reached out to me in general, like not affiliated with the shop or anything like that.
you can name names.
Do what?
Oh, I don't know if there's anybody famous or not.
Oh no,
okay.
no. And it's people like I'm not going to out anybody either.
Okay, that's what I was going to say.
But it's I've had several people that have reached out that are like just kind of beginning to like feel themselves, and they're like, yeah, exactly, and it's just that the first step into like, oh hey, I think I may want to explore this. Hey, I'm feeling this way. Can you show me how to do this or give me pointers? And that's really, it's really cool. It's really special to like be part of that whole like journey and experience, because it's like, okay, because I went over to one person's house, and I was just showing them how to, here's how you do your eyeshadow. Like, here's just a basic look, and then you can, amp it up or turn it down, and just kind of seeing that person start to like flourish and really start to feel themselves. You slip a wig on, and you're like, fuck yeah, like I'm feeling everything. So it's really cool to like, be a part of that journey.
Yeah.
And it's kind of,
it's fulfilling, isn't it?
It really is.
Yeah.
It really is. It's really cool.
That's gorgeous, though. You go from people chopping people's heads off in movies and then being like, "Oh, come here, let me make you look beautiful."
Yeah, I mean, I've had that happen. I've had that happen a few times, and every single time, I'm just like, "This is really fucking cool. Thank you for trusting me. Like, this is awesome." So of course, I'm not going to name any names, but and there are several that like have fully come out now, and they're hot as shit. And I'm like, get it. Like, this is fucking cool.
I used to get to help people pick out outfits. So I'd have like the baby trans or like the baby queen come in, Hot Topic, and I would see them like come in and be like, it's like, okay, I see. I get what. So you're over there looking at skirts, but I'm like, I'll handle this, everybody. And then I go over and I'm like, you doing okay? Like, really particular? And then they're like, oh, I'm just kind of like, I'm looking or whatever. And I'm like, okay, well, if you need help, I'll be right over there. And I'm like making sure that they know, like, baby, you have a great resource. Use it. And then eventually they get the balls to walk over and be like, so I need help. And I'm like,
I know.
Come to me.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And now you're doing it with movies. With your movie nights.
Oh my god!
And I'm sure you're seeing more and more new faces. They're like they're telling their friends. They're like,
people
this
who
is
don't
a
like
fucking
horror.
safe place to go and hang out and watch horror films. I mean, we try to do that at Gore Club, but it's different when you have somebody who's literally on that side. Yeah. Like you're there.
I get to have. I've had people who come for the commentary and not necessarily for the movie.
Right.
And they're like, I don't usually like horror movies, but like I really liked what you had to say about this, and I watched it and it was I had my eyes closed for some of it because it was scary or too gory, but I love the commentary, and I liked how you could make me appreciate horror movies, which I usually kind of thought were schlocky and stupid. And now I'm like, oh, there's like actually like substance here. Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, that's the whole point of doing it. Also, because I'm an egomaniac and I like to hold a mic, but
welcome to the table.
Yeah. So like it works out really well for me, and it's very fulfilling. So it's like the same thing as like working in like a retail environment and getting to help like, seeing the dolls come in and being like, she's new, she needs some help, getting to help her out, and then also seeing like baby gays who've never seen Mommy Dearest. You know how many gay people, young gay people haven't seen Mommy Dearest?
Wow.
And then I show it, and then they're like, that was really good. I didn't even know that's this quote from Drag Race or this thing that I always say is from that. And I'm like, yeah. Come next month. I'm going to show another one.
It should be required viewing.
Yeah. Oh, that's what wire hangers mean.
I actually just saw a video earlier that was the bathroom cleaning scene from Mommy Dearest made into a comment commercial. And it was
God damn, that's awesome. And she is in Psycho 3. So you got the Anthony Perkins, the whole it's fucking great. Yeah.
Full circle.
Yeah, full circle. I totally forgot she was even in Psycho 3.
Right.
Wait, who's in Psycho 3?
The daughter from what's her name? I can't remember her name. From
one that's like
Mama Dearest.
Christina.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's the star of Psycho 3 besides Anthony Perkins.
I know that.
Yeah.
I did not make that connection.
Great.
But I also have only seen Psycho 3 once. So I should really go back and watch those.
The fourth one is surprisingly really good. It's the one where he's like on the phone and he's like remembering his past. I think it's Thomas, what's his face, from E.T. or whatever, is playing the younger version of him.
Did they ever go to space?
Henry Jackson.
Psycho!
That's how I know that the franchise is truly made is when they go to space.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. It's great. Barbarella, but Psycho in space.
Okay,
Imagine.
Does anyone else like the remake?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Anne Hesh is great.
Vince
Fucking
Vaughn's
Viggo
awesome.
Mortensen.
It's like a shot for shot remake, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I never watched it because everybody's like, it's just the same movie.
It's
Don't
the
watch
exact
it.
same.
Okay.
It's so fun.
Here's the thing about that kind of bullshit. When people don't like that and they get mad if the remake that they're going to go see isn't as much like the movie they wanted it to be like. And then when it is, they're just like, I don't like it.
It's like, what do you
Make
want?
up your fucking mind.
Yeah.
There's actually a version on YouTube you can find. It's called Psychos. And it takes both of them and it puts them together. The whole movie, and it's gorgeous. I mean, he changed a couple little things here to make it his own. The house is different. The way mom looks is a little bit different. But, I mean, that cast is amazing. Vince Vaughn is a fucking psychopath. You only see that like that. And Clay Pigeons, he plays a serial killer.
Yeah. I like
And now we see him again in Cell Block, the Brawl in Cell Block 99 or whatever.
Jesus.
We actually see him as a fucking crazy badass. I mean, he's 6'5", and he always plays a beard-chugging piece of shit.
Yeah.
Psycho, he's great. I mean, remember him in The Lost World? He's a great, like, fucking sexy superhero guy.
Yeah.
Sorry. Psychos, man. Check that out on YouTube because, I mean, it's got both of them going at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's so weird because, like, you could just take a Psycho. You could make an entire just podcast about Psycho, like, and just do multiple episodes. Like, there's whole documentaries about the shower scene from Psycho where they're just, like, breaking down every single little bit of it.
Yeah.
And it's, like, so much going on in that movie. Like, you just, like, you watch it and you're just sitting, like, on everything, the music. You're just, like, stressed out the entire time.
And the thing about some people don't want to watch a black and white movie. So you can show them that movie, and it's pretty fucking close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe I should go back. I'll go back and check it out.
Well, anyhow, for the Hitchcock movie, there's a lot of like hidden sort of queer references in his movies.
Exactly. I mean, he's pretty much a piece of garbage person, but his films are amazing. I mean, Roman Polanski, Fear's Vampire Killer is one of my favorite vampire movies of all time. I mean, Sharon Tate's amazing in that film, but like, I'm talking about the art.
Another gay icon.
Right?
Sharon Tate.
Sharon
Yeah,
fucking
shit.
Tate.
Did you watch the Hilary Duff movie?
Which
No, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
bad,
I
baby.
turned it off.
Is it
turned
the
it off.
haunting of
I
Sharon
was like,
Tate?
I was-
My partner loves
Yeah.
that whole idea, so she was so fucking disappointed.
Yeah, no, I knew what it was. I knew exactly what it was going to be, and I was not disappointed or let down. It was exactly what I knew it was going to be, and I was satisfied.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
this is absolute garbage. This is a piss movie. I love it.
Okay.
Well, I mean, when Baby Girl did a lot of press for it, and
She
she
sure
was
did.
posting all kinds of shit. on
Hilary
social
Duff, right?
media.
Yeah.
She was posting all kinds of shit on all of her social media, and then it came out.
And it was
All
critically just panned.
Yeah.
Jeepers Creepers
Like, girl.
Reborn, anyone?
Yeah.
Oh, God. Is that the third one?
No, it's the newest one.
I have it.
Where it looks like they
I
shot
haven't-
it on this phone, on a fucking phone, and the effects are like, oh my god, it's bad.
Jeepers
So
Creepers was one of my true entryways to horror. Like I had seen Carrie, but for what got me into horror was Jeepers Creepers, and it's just sullied by the knowledge that I have now of the director, and I'm like, I can't even enjoy this because this feels gross.
We've talked about him before, and you watch Jeepers Creepers too, and there's all those long tracking shots over young boys' bodies. I'm like, this guy he never got punished.
No, he doesn't.
No.
And for me to now, and that was another thing where it was like a gay awakening. I'm like, oh my God, all of them sun tanning on top of the bus.
Yeah.
It's boys and not girls. Was this made for me? And then now
He's a garbage.
yeah, and now it's dirty because it was for some creep and not for me, also a creep, but a different kind of creep.
Age appropriate creep.
Yeah.
Shit. Oh, fuck.
Why can't I just be 15 and horny? Why do I have to be 15, horny, and socially aware? Bullshit.
Powder is a great superhero sci-fi horror, not horror film, but it's the same thing. It's very gay. But Victor Salva, same fucking director.
Yeah.
It's fuck, man, and Sean Patrick Flannery is fantastic in that movie. That's one of my favorite Lance Henriksen movies. He makes me cry in that movie. And Victor fucking Salva.
They just kept giving that dude money to make movies.
I know.
Yeah, it's insane.
Let's talk
People
about
have gotten canceled for less. How did this go on for so long? I
was
don't
the
understand
90s.
it.
Yeah.
And now we can't even sell the rights to somebody else to make remake it and not have him get money for it because the property's already too far damaged.
Yeah.
And it's we don't get horror creature features anymore.
No.
We don't get that.
No.
We got that with the Creep. I want more scary creatures.
I think the last one you get is Victor Crowley. Hatchet.
Victor Crowley, you got Terrifier or whatever, but that's
Creature.
He's a real monster.
Like
And
a
you don't
monster.
even know how fucking monstrous he is until that one wing pops up. And you're like,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
First time I saw that, shit my pants. That
So
was
good.
so crazy. And I'm never gonna get the experience of no. I love slashers. I love a human. I love to ooh, it's so cool to be all deep and whatever and be like, how did this person get to be this way? But I'm also sick of people. I want monsters.
Yeah.
I want monsters. There was that one movie about the mom and daughter in the car, and it's raining and it's really dark and there's a creature out in the woods. I have no idea what I'm talking about.
It's fun because we're all like,
Yeah, it was on Amazon Prime. I can't remember the name of it, so I'm just gonna let it go.
Cujo again.
Oh my god.
Cujo.
Cujo at night.
Cujo too.
Cujo cries.
But yeah, it's that was one. But we don't really get good creatures, and I miss that shit.
Yeah, and
What
that had a
happens?
budget and it looked good. And
Yeah.
you knew how to make a fucking movie, and then all that shit comes out. Yeah.
That foreskin wing.
That's fucking insane. And everybody's just like, oh, not only is he not dead, he's something else.
Yeah.
What a great first film.
I just worked on a very charming little Christmas creature feature that I'll send you a link to when it comes out.
Yeah, you're allowed to talk about it right now?
Do
Are
I?
you allowed to talk about it at all? Right now?
I can't talk about the plot, but
Okay.
it's right now Fangoria did an article on it.
Okay.
So I guess we can, but I don't know if they released any of the plot points, but it's called A Creature Was Stirring, or A Creature Is Stirring.
Okay, cool.
I don't know. It was a different title when we made it, but I
Released
think
for this year or next?
it's going to be released next year, most likely. But it should be a fun one.
Oh, you can't tease us. Come on.
But
now.
it's a creature feature. No, it's a creature feature. It should
Okay.
be really fun.
Is it?
And the effects team behind it is phenomenal. They did a great job. So
So this
Should be
is
fun.
this is the Grizzly Adams movie Elves right here. Your movie is like
it's
okay,
like
it's way up there. Okay, cool.
Most movies that
Yeah,
way when
no,
it comes to
yeah,
elves.
no.
I love Christmas
yeah.
horror, so I'm down.
Yeah,
I'm really excited for this.
We're here.
Same
That
movie.
movie's on the second fucking floor.
Great.
Yeah, because there is an anthology Christmas horror movie called All the Creatures Were Stirring.
Yes.
That came out a couple of years ago. I own. You're talking about Christmas horror films. I have a stack like that tall, obviously.
And they're all it's like 40 copies of Santa's Sleigh.
No, I love that movie though. We talked about Violent Night. I mean, it's not a horror film, but it's like an exploitation and action movie. I'm definitely gonna go see that movie.
Oh, here we go. A Creature Was Stirring. Scott Taylor Compton and Chrissy Metz star in Christmas horror film.
Sweet,
So bloody disgusting.
good. I know she's in town right now, or she was.
She's still in town.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. They were.
Is this a film that was shot here?
Yes.
There are so many movies happening all over right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are tons of them.
There's tax credits, baby.
Well, now
Yeah. No
Yeah.
shit.
Who'd you say is directing it?
Huh?
Did you say who's directing it?
The current one?
Yeah.
Like the
The one that you just worked on.
Oh, no, that was Damien Levick.
Okay.
I was pulling it up for you. That also made The Cleansing Hour.
I had a moment. Yes.
Yes, that was a great movie.
Yes. Yeah, he directed The Cleansing Hour too. So that should be pretty fun. Yeah, Sam's doing the one that Scott's in.
Yeah, they just wrapped.
Yeah.
So we're talking about Sam Irving, who directed Elvira's Haunted Hills. He's in town with Scott Taylor Compton from the Rob Zombie's Halloween. But they're doing like a rom
Yeah, it's
comedy,
like a
right?
lifetime.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Hallmark stuff going on right now. In the
Ton
world.
of Hallmark
Yeah,
stuff
he makes a
going on.
living off doing that shit. He's doing like one back to back to back. He won't be leaving until I guess New Year's Eve.
New Year's, yeah.
This
was
My drag mom's working on one of those.
Oh, right on.
Yeah.
Nice.
Tony Vincent.
I love Tony. Stop.
That's
Aw.
That's Mother Hampton.
I love
Aw. So I guess we'll. This was a great episode. Thank you guys for coming on. And I guess we'll just wrap this up here in the next couple of minutes. But I definitely wanted to. I think one of you guys had a question.
I was gonna say, where do you all think we should? Where do you want? Kind of queer horror to kind of go to, or where would you like it to see it go
Yeah, where should it
compared
go?
to what's been out now and what's came out in the past and what's going on? What would you all like to see?
I mean, I want to see it become just like, I don't know if I want to see it go in any particular direction. I just want to start seeing gay and queer characters that are not like, they're just gay.
Yeah.
Or they're just queer. It doesn't matter. Just a queer character.
Doesn't even post people away from
it's again,
girl
it's,
or whatever.
yeah, it's not a, I don't want it. I want it to go in that direction and not be like a cautionary tale or this is the killer. The other, and otherness is such a huge thing in horror. That's why I love it. But I just want to see, I don't want to see it be like a thing. Like, oh yeah, the gay guy dies, or the trans woman dies. I just want it to be like, oh, all this crazy shit is happening to them, and they just happen to be queer.
Yeah.
Or normalized.
Yeah. Like I don't want it to be like. I mean, it's not really like a huge punchline anymore. It was a punchline, of course, a lot in the in the 90s and 2000s, and in the really from the beginning of film to the say 80 or so let's say beginning to like 70s, it was very much a cautionary tale. Don't go down that path, and that was just not only in horror, but it was in all media. You had PSAs, in the 50s, a favorite, Boys Beware.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Jimmy doesn't know it yet, but, and then, in the 80s, you kind of had it a lot of it coupled with, there were a lot of like undertones with AIDS and all of those, types of things that were happening at the time. And then of course in 90s, early 2000s, it was always a punchline. So like, I just want to see it just be a thing. Like
Don't tell bullshit.
just exist, and don't make it a piece. Don't make it a punchline. Don't make any just.
Crazy shit happens to us every
crazy.
day.
Yeah, exactly. Like I just want it to be that.
It seems like I said, like Chucky, like the Chucky show. Like it's just normal. Like the kid's gay, and they move forward from there.
Yeah.
I think that Chucky's a good example of where horror is going to go.
Yeah.
I do have hope that horror is going to treat us much kinder in the coming years. I want to see more like final boys, whether they're gay or straight.
Yeah.
I think that there's don't get me wrong, love women.
Oh, yeah.
Love watching the girls get chased and be like rise up against this very masculine energy. But I also I don't have that many examples of like a final boy. Like there's obviously
Jesse.
Yeah. Jesse. But like, there's Jesse. I thought you were doing like Craig. But yeah, like there's Jesse and then who?
Yeah.
Jared Padalecki in the Friday the 13th remake.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, you're right. Okay.
I get it.
But it doesn't count yet.
We have, I mean, there's more boys in like Friday the 13th that can, kind of stand in as like final boy or final enough boy. But yeah, I would like to see more final boys. I'd like to see more queer people just existing in a horror film.
Exactly.
Like maybe we're not the first ones to die.
Yeah.
Or maybe whenever we do die, we don't have to confess, wait, you can't kill me, I'm actually gay. Because that was funny in Scream 4, but I don't want to see it again. Like, I'm gay.
Yeah.
I saw it. I've always seen it. I laughed. We're moving on. And then I would love to see, and this is partly because I want to be in it, but I'd love to see, a dragged,
That would be cool.
slasher.
I had a friend who was writing a trans slasher film, and I don't think they ever had it made. And I was like, "This is going to be amazing." I was going to be the DP on the film, and I never heard anything else about it. And it was right before COVID, so I'm sure that fucked everybody's world up.
Yeah, it fucked everybody's
I
world
kind
up.
of hope I get contacted again.
Who would you cast in this drag slasher film?
Hell
Other
yeah,
than yourself?
Me. I'll play all the roles actually.
All of
No, I think if it depends on if it's what the budget is. So in a perfect world, me, and then probably Jinx Monsoon.
Oh, yeah.
I would
hilarious.
I think Gilda Wabbit would make a really good local legend icon star. Gilda Wabbit would make a really fun stand-in for like the horror obsessed nerd type who's like really intellectual and smart, or as the killer. That would be really, really fierce. I think that if we were to put like maybe Monet Exchange or Bob the Drag Queen in a horror film, they would be comedy gold. They could mine the fuck out of that. Jackie Beat would probably be really fun. No offense to Jackie, she's much older than all the queens I've mentioned, so she would probably have to like play a specific role.
The Harbinger.
Oh my god.
Oh god! Don't go there.
Yeah. Honestly,
there's a legend around here.
That's something that I talk about a lot with the local girls. I'm like, we have
Spooky Boots legend.
we have iPhones. We can make a horror movie.
Do it.
Like we could easily like create this stupid script. I'll write it, and then just start shooting it, and then put it all. I can edit it all together, put it out into the world, and then see if maybe someday it gets picked up. I don't know. I think it'd be fun. There's so much to mine from drag queens in general because we're theatrical. We have great references. Like we could have an entire scene of like a slasher who comes in with a wire hanger and a thing of Jax or Comet and just
like your own student bodies or whatever like that. That's trans.
Yeah, well, and like and coming from like a makeup effects perspective, there are so many good kills. They're like the opportunities are endless.
You've got heels that can go into skulls.
Yeah.
You've got chokers that you can choke someone with.
Yeah.
You've got
Slasher on the set of the Boulay Brothers, like fucking.
Oh yeah, obviously.
That would be a great fucking thing.
Yeah, I would definitely cast Swan Thula in the film because I think Swan would be such a fun like final girl. Because I don't know if Swan knows this about themselves, but they're very, very tiny. And they kind of have, like, I believe that they could very easily go Valley Girl and play, like, a ditzy blonde. Like, if we just took all the Dragula off and just was, like, any old drag queen, put them in a blonde wig and push them out there on set and be like, hey, go be a dumb bimbo for a minute. I feel like they would eat that shit up.
Well, you've got a makeup effects artist here. You've got a drag queen that wants to do a horror film. So you all just do this, and I'll be there to watch.
Someone has to be smothered with a hip pad.
Yeah.
Contact honestly. Shoving my birdseed tit down somebody's throat, and there's like a big old, like, ginormous boob in their throat. Like,
oh my god!
That'd be so good.
Please let this happen.
I hope this happens.
That'd be
Sometimes
amazing.
The only problem is that none of my wigs can be used because I'm not getting blood on any of them. I would kill someone.
We'll have a budget.
Yeah, I mean, you get a wig budget. It's fine. It's totally fine.
We'll be sponsored by the podcast. We'll be like, don't worry about it. We get you all the wigs you want.
Yeah. Honestly, having the like instead of like having like full moon pictures and then like it fades and then it's Gore Club and then fades again and it's some random like I don't know Absolute Vodka.
Holy shit. Fuck, man.
Oh, man.
Now, there's always the part that I hate when it comes to how happy I am when the climate is what it is. But there's the fucking pendulum push when it comes to the right or the redneck assholes or the overly religious vomit people that are just trying so hard with every fucking breath to stop any kind of progress in the world. They're not going to win. They're not. I really, truly believe that. But those people scare the fuck out of me. Yeah, but then they breed these assholes like that just happened, like did the mass shooter. His grandfather is a MAGA person in the government. It's like, fuck, man. I always hate that's what I'm saying, like the pendulum that pushes back. So there's always like, that always happens, and that's what scares me the most. I think we're at a point now that it's not going to just be able to be pushed down. I mean, just voting down the number 2, the no on Amendment 2 showed that there's still like a movement out there for people who want to protect themselves. But those people will still go back and vote Republicans. Like, so you're just going to keep putting the people in power who want you to die. And, you know, it's a weird climate that we're in. Yeah. And I thought this would be a good timing to do these kind of episodes as we're going in, as we were doing. I just think these episodes it's a good time to do it because I want to hear people's perspective when it comes to shit that I love. And thank you all for coming on and being a part of what I think it's fucking special, and I think it's only going to get better.
Thank you.
For what it's worth, everything that's about to happen with all the election nonsense, it's going to, I mean, shit's about to hit the fan. I mean, it's been hitting the fan for 8 years. So it's going to keep happening, and we're going to see it. But the cool thing, the thing that I always can say, at least we'll get great horror movies out of it.
Yeah.
It's going to reflect what we're scared of. And we've already seen it with movies like Get Out. Get Out was a great example of like horror really tapping into what we're scared of right now. And right now, Black people are scared of crazy ass white people. So they made this amazing film that literally I was like, we should go see Get Out. Girls, let's go see Get Out. And they're like, I'm not going to see that with you. You need to go sit in the theater and watch that by your damn self. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And so I go see it, and I'm like, I get it now. Like, there's like these, like that was a movie that like Black people watched and it resonated with them deeply and their fear. And then as a like white person who actually gives a fuck, I'm watching it and I'm like, I'm just gonna sit over here and eat my food and mind my fucking business. And I don't know, I think we're gonna get a lot of movies like that. I know we've gotten some like COVID, like we had what's that one, Host. Like in the middle of the pandemic, they made that shit real quick. And it was like, you know, you watch it and you're like sitting, most of us watching it on our laptops on Shudder. And it looks like, I mean, it literally looks like you're in your own Zoom meeting watching these people go through what they're going through. Like, horror is always going to reflect what we're scared of. So, we're all batshit scared right now, right?
Yeah.
The world is very bleak. So we're going to get great horror out of it.
But definitely
There's a win everywhere if you look hard enough.
Great horror, great music, hopefully.
Yeah, well...
It's just like the 80s when I was growing up, you know, you had the Reagan era.
Music's fine.
Yeah.
But the music that comes out of these dark fucking thoughts and the people who don't want to be a school shooter, who are like still have something to say in a positive way.
Yeah.
That's what I'm excited about. And maybe one day we'll actually get that trans slasher film that in 10 more years it'll just be another fucking slasher movie that just happens to be a trans person. That's a really good way it's a positive outlook on a subgenre that one day will just be a genre.
Yeah.
And that's what I hope for. And I just want to thank you guys for coming on. And
Thanks for having us.
And I want you all to tell us.
Yes, tell us where we can find you.
Start with you. Start
Start with me? Okay.
Yes.
You can find me on all social media platforms, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Be Real, The Sydni Hampton, TheSydniHampton. You can find my podcast on Apple and Anchor and Google and a bunch of other places. Really Queer, REELY, Queer. Have a movie night at Bellarmine starting in January, where I'll be showing anything from masterpieces to cringy guilty pleasures. And then I host it Elvira style. It's really cute. I make a bunch of jokes. And then we go into like a film discussion. So if that sounds like your vibe, please come. And then you can catch me at Play once or twice a month.
Yep. Now that's at Bellarmine University in Louisville, Kentucky.
Yeah. And if you can't make it, I do have a Discord where when I have time, I stream movies and I talk about them as long as people actually are in there for me to talk to. But yeah, I love to stream. I like streaming movies too because I don't have to get into full drag. I just have a mic and I'm like talking and I can like take questions or like turn it over to other people. It's really easy with Discord.
Yeah, I love Discord.
Yeah,
We've been talking about doing that in Aces with some people on the Say You Love Satan podcast.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So yeah, you can literally just unmute somebody and be like, yeah, go ahead, and then they like can give their 2 cents, and then it's like a really great discussion. Sometimes it's a bunch of queer people. Sometimes it's like a handful of queer people, but also like people from other backgrounds who come on and they're like, thank you for talking about that because I didn't know that, and this actually made me think. I don't know. I love Discord. I love streaming stuff because you get a different kind of audience. So, yeah, that's where you can find me.
That's awesome. I'm on all social media. Trevor Thompson Makeup Artist, Trevor Thompson Makeup. It kind of varies, but if you just type in Trevor Thompson and an M, I usually pop up. You can also find my website, trevorthompsonmakeup.com.
Sweet.
Or at Caulfield's Novelty in downtown Louisville.
One of the oldest Halloween and magic shops in the world, pretty much.
Yeah, you can come find me down there occasionally,
Dave, do you have a question?
No.
Thank God. He never stumps us with these fucking like.
I don't have any questions. I don't have any questions today.
Okay, well then get us out of here, Dave.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for listening. You can find us on Pocket Cast, Spotify.
The list is behind their head.
The list is behind. Oh, wait. No, there it is. It's over there. Anchor FM, Breaker, Google Podcast, Overcast, Pocket Cast, Radio Public, Spotify, Apple Podcast. I already said that one.
Castbox and Verbal.com.
Yes, those things too, or wherever you're
We're now
listening
in
to us.
37 countries.
37 countries, or you can listen to us wherever you found us and are listening to us now.
Especially in Puerto Rico.
In Puerto Rico.
Can I spell it like that? Why don't you suck my Rico?
Oh, God.
All right, love you guys.
Thanks. Bye. Like, share, and subscribe. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Gore Club Podcast. This is the Gore Club Podcast with Steve Vessel, Ace, and Jeff's Metal Dave.